Hi, everybody. This is Higgy from No More Heroin, and this is the Survivor Series. I'd like to welcome everyone watching on Higgy 2.0 and on YouTube, our YouTube channel, the No More Heroin Survivor Series YouTube channel.
Hello.
We're going to let the audience build. I'm going to play a song by our dear friend, Joe Nestor, Homeless Hero, and let the audience build. So please enjoy the song. Santiago Cirilo.
He wakes up every morning.
What's up, Denny? Can you hear this okay?
Begs for change and pouring rain, but no one sees the storm he's calling. And said you don't belong here. He said that no one's wrong here. He said I understand and dropped his head to keep him tears from falling. To keep him tears from falling. Strangers passing by him on the bench as he sits there crying. They stare at him and bear their grin because he can't stop crying. Because he can't stop crying. Scared to the clouds, he says, I want to make you proud of me. Hands up to the homeless hero, holding time on the interstate. Temperature's going down to zero. No one sees or feels his pain. Yesterday he passed away. Someone say that this isn't true.
Thank you for your service, Dallas Morton. I love you, brother.
You never know, 'cause it could be you.
Please share this out, everybody.
Used to have a job and a nose piece, but now he sleeps on cardboard boxes. And the life he knew was gone in a flash with his family too. How could you be so heartless? All the things he's been through. How could you be so thoughtless?
Oops, sorry.
To you, with his head to the clouds, he said, I wanna make you proud of me. Hands up to the homeless hero, holding time on the interstate. Going down to zero, no one sees or feels his pain. But yesterday he passed away. Someone say that this isn't true. Hands up to the homeless hero. You never know, 'cause it could be you. He's been walking around, looking up while everyone's looking down. But he says, I'm gonna miss this so bad.
Nice stuff. Santiago Cirilo, I love you. Tracy.
Yes, I love my Sarah.
Someone say that this isn't true. Hands up for the homeless hero. You never know, 'cause it could have been you.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for the poor video presentation. The song was powerful. Anyone that's been a fan of Joe Nestor, Nestor Nation knows that song, and it's so appropriate today. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the show tonight. In my upper right-hand corner, I have with me my dear friend from Kentucky, Kathy Garrison of Ride for the Heroes of Kentucky. So welcome, Kathy. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Higgy. I greatly appreciate you bringing me and Ride for the Heroes on board tonight.
we were you put on an event, Warmth for the Veterans, last November, and Santiago came in as your special guest, and I had an opportunity to hang out and talk with Santiago, to get to know him a little better. I'd met him previous to that time, but that's when we really connected. And I'd like everyone to please welcome veteran, Army veteran, actor, comedian, philanthropist. He wears many hats. And please welcome Santiago Cirilo from The Walking Dead.
Hiya, everybody! Hello, people! Live life, follow your dreams, always be you. It is a great honor to be here today with you guys. I love you. I'm not coronavirus hugging you. I'm just like, love you.
It's that care hug. It's that care heart that they put on Facebook these days. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out. I want to throw up this picture. This is from your Walking Dead days.
That looks like me. That looks like me.
That's inside the prison. I remember this prison well. There was it was very intriguing, the plot and the twist at this period of time for The Walking Dead. If anybody is a Walking Dead fan, please put hashtag Walking Dead in the comments. Let me see.
I remember that well. You know, they built that prison from a company out in Kentucky that makes prisons, and they brought all that stuff down and they built it inside a hangar and really made it real, like real walls and bars and all that stuff.
Turn this off here. It's raining here in Florida, and my technology is acting up, so I'm trying to ad lib as I go and still have a really good presentation. So Santiago, please give us some background into who you are, where you came from, what it was like for you growing up, and we'll progress through your life story.
Well, I was born in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, out in the motherland out there in Puerto Rico, and raised in Lorain, Ohio, just out there by the shores of Lake Erie. And
Buckeye,
pretty much,
Hiya!
I'm a big Buckeye fan, buddy. Ohio State. Oh, hey, Tayo!
Hi-yo, baby.
I'm a big Ohio fan, man. I love the Browns. I love the Buckeyes and the Indians, Cavaliers, so forth. Yeah, man, and crazy world that got me in a path, man. I was in a dark time, man, and pretty much partied out. Took advantage of school and college, and I was sitting there in the break area wondering what I'm going to do next. And here comes a recruiter and goes, "You got a light?" He was trying to smoke a cigarette. He goes, "You got a light?" I go, "You got a contract?" And he goes, "What?" I was like, "I'll give you a light. You give me a contract." He goes, "Are you kidding me?" I go, "No." He goes, "Boy, you're going to be the fastest recruit ever." So I was honored and blessed to follow my grandfather's steps, to say, and joined the infantry. I was in the Army Infantry at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, at 101st for about 8 years, man. Straight out of basic. I got orders to go overseas. Maybe I stayed 2 weeks after Christmas, and I was over flying in the 747 full gear, man. So, and straight out of basics, so I was a buck private, and going, what the hell? I should have stayed in college. No, I'm just kidding. But I became a man fast, man, and during that time, you could see, man, once you join the military, anything goes. You know, people go in there, and then who would I expect in the real world, straight out of basic training, and giving orders right before you go home for Christmas, saying you're coming back, the thing is that life in the military, man or woman, any job. I was in the infantry, any job out there, because we were all connected. No mission can succeed without the other. So it was hardship. We go through things early in the morning and stay sometimes all night, double shift, you could call it. Sometimes weeks. We slept. I personally slept standing up. Learn how to stand up sleeping. But there's a lot of things that we go through to make what people don't see out there. You see these commercials, you see these movies, and so forth. But the real time of being in the military, once you get in there, there's no color, there's no race, there's nothing, man. It's all brotherhood and sisterhood, and we grow to be real big and families, and we take care of each other, and we do things that people don't know about that we get to tell once we get out, years later, I guess.
Absolutely. We carry a lot of baggage with us from those times too, right?
Oh yeah, man. Here's the deal. What people don't know is that when you get out of the Army or out of the military, your whole life, it's like entering the twilight zone for us. We're used to the civilian life, and we talk about back in the day, but when we're in the military so long, it's hard to adapt, to change, to agree with what's going out in the civilian world, because we're so much, 3 in the morning, we're up and ready to do something. And to slow down, people telling us to slow down and so forth. Like when I went out of the Army, a buddy of mine couldn't handle the pressure of civilian life. He was working at Gibson Guitar, and I was on my way out of the military, and they made a deal with Gibson that he's going to go back in, and then we're going to trade places. And he went back in the Army, became, very successful, first sergeant and so forth, went through every war possible after that.
It becomes a void of life, right?
Yeah, man, it is a whole different. I tell people is that the only thing we can remember after high school, college, or whatever is the world, it's Earth. When we go to the military, we're in a different planet. And then when we get out, it's like trying to adapt back to Earth in a different way. It is stressful. It is hard. We grow to different things that people are not proud of, but it is an empty space for us that needs to be filled sometimes. And it's sad because we fill it in with drugs. We fill it in with depression. We fill it in with PTSD that we automatically pretty much have. And then we go a different route. And we get into the point where we do not want to be part of society. We do not want to connect with society. And we try to figure it out our own, but we don't want to approach it as a failure. So that's how you get a lot of homeless veterans. People, when they see homeless veterans, automatically they think, oh, he's a drug addict, he's crazy, he's all this, and the truth about it is that all we're doing is just trying to slow down. We're not all in drugs. We're not all, we're helping each other. We're actually trying to find ourselves.
Sure.
And but the sad thing is that for us, most of the time when we're looking for help in the medical field, we're thrown in, and man, they're giving us pain pills. They're giving us all these different shortcuts, instead of just giving us some time to show our story. And these doctors, man, they just automatically, here, take this, take that, take this, go see a therapist, do this, do that, and it's like no one wants to listen to us. And so we're addicted. We're addicted to these pain meds. We're addicted to these drinking. We all of a sudden we put one and one together, like, oh, I could take these meds and I could take this drink, and all of a sudden you're going through a whole different, bigger feel that you feel like, oh man, I just want to stay here. I do not want to come down and be with planet Earth again. And it is a sad feeling because a lot of us can't shake that off. True fact. I lost a lot of friends through suicide.
Yes.
They had great jobs, fantastic jobs. They served in wars. They saved thousands of people's lives. And they come home and the door slams on them. They're thrown in different situations where they have to take these medicines. They have to take these different kind of routes where it is effective or positive for the civilian world, not our world.
Sure.
Nobody wants to listen to us. They want to listen to their world and how we got to be adapted to that, and it is hard, man. I'll give you a little thing, man. One minute I'm talking to a good friend of mine, a successful nurse, doctor, helping out in ER, successful nurse. Was in the infantry. Next thing you know, he got a divorce. His wife couldn't take him having nightmares and so forth. He got into drinking. Next thing you know, he got stopped for DUIs. And then he cried for help. People was like, "Oh, go see here, go to here, go to there, go this, call these people." You know, when for someone in the military go help, and when they cry for help, they're asking for an actual hug to come with them, to try to at least give that step to see how it is. And to that point is he had a lot of DUIs, tried to get his life back in swing, got stopped by the cops and was drunk, didn't want to go back to jail and killed himself right in front of a cop.
Man.
You know, that's what we deal with. Best friend and military brother. One day I'm talking to him. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, we're hanging out with my sister, eating wings and all this stuff. And my other military brother calls me in. Let's do a three-way talk. I try to call him up. No ringing. His mom calls me back, says you got to call his wife. It's not even 8 hours later, 8 to 12 hours later, he killed himself. You know, so 1 minute, you know, it's a two-faced deal. You gotta ask, you gotta be part of not just soldiers, but people who are going through addiction, people who are trying to balance their life back. And they hear it all the time. We hear it all the time. Oh man, you need to stop doing this. Oh, you need to work on this. You need to go here. You need to call this number. But nobody actually gives the connection that they need, which is, it's like a spiritual hug. You need to take and help each other out.
Human connection. Because these people that are taking their lives that serve our country are taken from normal everyday life and thrust into a very violent, stress-filled, environment where they see death on a daily basis, always in fear of their lives, and that's how PTSD happens, right? The repetitive, horrific experiences where you're just filled with fear, and for that period of time when you're so full of fear, you're froze in that time, and it plays over and over and over in your head. And when you come back to society, then you have to live by new rules. You're not allowed to act out in the way that you had prior to your military career.
Right. It's a deep impact of shock.
Yeah.
And us we're trained to do everything fast. You can't take a second of like, oh, what just happened? You have to know. You see someone go down, you have to do what you have to do and get back to the mission. You know, one thing that goes and plays over people's heads, especially soldiers, is all that shock, all that immediate shock. How did I get to this point? And then you go over and over again. Oh my God, I witnessed this person dying, or I witnessed this shocking moment in my life, or it just keeps on and keeps on. And the only way to pretty much try to help yourself to get rid of that is with your peers. I mean, do not be ashamed to be involved with your peers, people who have succeeded in breaking addiction, succeeded in life where they help each other. Do not ever think that you're a crutch. Do not ever think that you're wasted or worthless. You are a hero once you take that first step, and try to seek help.
Absolutely. There are better options than taking your life, or doing horrible things that put you in worse situations. It's so understandable being a veteran, why it happens, but I'm gonna let Kathy chime in. Your father was an Army veteran, and I have his hat with me right now that you gave me when I spoke in Kentucky, and I hold this very dear to me because it comes from you. I didn't know your father, but he was a veteran. Can you tell us about your father?
Yes, my dad served in the National Guard Army from 64 to 69. and no, 68, I'm sorry. And then he got out and he went into the National Guard Reserves where he served 16 years. But there was a time span in between there, so his time didn't carry over because he had gotten out and then went back into the reserves later on. And he was dedicated. He was a dedicated veteran all the way up until he passed away. He supported the veterans. I remember Christmas parades in Paris, Kentucky, and I have the pictures. He would put his John Deere tractor together with a John Deere wagon behind it and have a big old sign that was, we support our veterans. And, when he passed away almost 5 years ago, I wanted to do something in his memory because I couldn't go serve. My dream was the Air Force. And when I was 11, I found out that I was blind in my left eye. So that cut all that out. So, I value what my father gave to me in the military community. We would go to, Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners at the National Guard Armory, every year. That was tradition. And I was very proud of my father for serving. And then, my brother, he followed in my dad's footsteps and he went into the Marines. And so, seeing both of them men, giving their all, it just, after Dad died, and then I started welcoming Larry McCoy with,
Larry McCoy.
in addiction.
We love you.
Yeah.
Larry. We love you, Larry.
Yes, we do. But I started welcoming Larry in the recovery community, and he led me to the homeless veterans to where now that's, what we do. The Ride for Heroes of Kentucky. We started working with the Hope Center, and this year we got connected with, it's called Women's Connect in Winchester, and they're for the women. It's going to be a homeless shelter for women. And it broke my heart we couldn't have our event in May, but I understand, the whole coronavirus and stuff.
That gives us more time to make a more impactful event, right?
Yes, it does.
So
Yes,
I'm going to put you on the screen solo. I want you to hold up your tattoo.
Oh.
Had a phone call.
Veteran's daughter.
So
Veteran's daughter.
Veteran's daughter.
That's beautiful.
And I wear it with pride every day. I mean, that right there is because I guess you can call me an Army brat or whatever they call it nowadays. But, I used to stand and watch my dad ride off, on his motorcycle with his bags on the back going, away and leaving. And it's like, when you coming back? I'll be back when I get back. And it was heart-wrenching to see, him have to leave and be deployed, and as a little girl never knowing when he was coming home, because my parents didn't talk about it back then.
Sure.
It's just, Dad's got to leave for the military, he'll be back. That's all I got out of it.
The world was the world was very turbulent at that time with all the things going on in the world.
Yes, it was. My dad, he was in, and he was a mechanic, diesel mechanic for, a long time. And then as he went into the National Guard, he done different things in the armory and stuff. And, he grew. And when he came out, he was an E6, in the Army. So, or in the National Guard. So I was very proud of my father, but then the older I got and my brother went into the Marines, that's where my heart really fell for the military. Was, my brother was my hero. And so seeing him get on that Greyhound bus to go to Paris Island, it crushed me. I was 10, I was 10 years old. I was a little girl. My brother, my hero, was going away, and I didn't know if I'd ever see him again. And then finally, when he got out, it was on my birthday. My mom had sent him a plane ticket to California to fly home for my birthday. It was my 14th birthday. So I didn't even recognize my brother when I opened the door.
It changes you.
I opened the door and there he stood, and it did not even look like him.
We go in as
And
boys and come out as men.
yes, yes. So I was like, okay, it's my birthday, but there's a grown, good-looking man standing in front of me. And until he opened his mouth and said, "Are you going to give me a hug?" I didn't have a clue who he was. But from that moment on, my whole world changed because he come home. Not all of them get to come home. And when they come home, they don't get to come home with the sound mind, body, and soul that they left with. So that's where my heart steps in, and it's like it really gets to me and want to be there and help them in any way that we can, especially the homeless veterans, because they should not be homeless.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I understand they all go through a struggle and they all are dealing with stuff, but they should not be homeless in the United States.
Absolutely. You
It's just
know,
ridiculous.
for us, that when we sign our name on the dotted line and take the oath to join the armed forces, we accept at that time to give our lives, lay our lives on the line for every person in our country without question. If it's our time, no matter what we're asked to do, we're to follow orders for the greater good, for success of the mission or operation or whatever's going on at that time. People don't, a lot of the general public don't realize the overall view of taking an oath to join the armed services. We lay our lives on the line and are willing to give our lives, and so many of our brothers and sisters have done so, over time. Santiago, I want to put up this right here, a Veterans Homecoming. This is you. This is your film.
Yeah.
Could you give us some background about what this is and what the story is?
Yeah. Pretty much. After my best friend and military brother took his life, it was a hard time. It was literally, he died, and I was still on my way after burying him. I was on my way to bury my mother, and it was a dark time in my life. And I was involved I was just starting the entertainment business, being as an actor. And more than anything, I want to write. I love writing. I love trying to express a good story. And what I did is I took about a handful of military veteran stories, men and women, and put a little bit of mine and my brothers, and created a character and wrote this story of a veteran who is a award hero and a medal, kind of like comes home nice and clean and shaved, and decides he's pretty much forced to retire, and he comes out, and a tragic event happens because he couldn't adapt to the world. He was just having trouble, from even going into restaurants. And a tragic moment happened in his life where he decides to shun himself from the world. He just disappears. He disappears for a handful of years. And during that time, we get to see what the audience gets to see what veterans see through their eyes. And these are just true facts. You see how people treat veterans, civilians, government, organizations, and so forth. And at the same time, this one veteran is not on drugs. He's not on anything. He's not crazy, mental issues. He just wanted peace. He just wanted to get away. And during that time, he attracts or gets involved with other homeless veterans, listens to their story and so forth. And he comes back. The veteran is found, and he comes back, and he tries to save a farm at a small town where a corporation company wants to come in, and it's like wanting to build a Walmart kind of deal. And he comes in, and they don't have workers, and he goes, "I've got workers." So he gets all these homeless veterans and all these veterans to come to this farm and save this farm, save this small town. I did it as a Hallmark kind of type movie. The reason why is, as you guys know, and you guys can vouch for this, man, all these movies, military movies that come out, true stories, which are great, true heroes and all that, but they show too much of a tragic ending.
Sure.
And I just want to show that that not all of us come home to tragic endings, man. We come home to a lot of pain, a lot of confusion, a lot of discomfort,
a lot of baggage, a lot of heartache.
So we come in, and we're not trying to be babied. We just pretty much want to be alone until we adapt. And it's more of such a fast pace to adapt. At the same time, we're coming down from our own adrenaline. So I wanted to show how it works. How a simple veteran goes out there, and you'll have civilians, and these are true facts. These are true facts. You'll have there's scenes in the story where you have this veteran being treated like crap, and other veterans being treated like crap. Government officials treating veterans like crap, and this goes every day. This is not something to put down. People work at these facilities. I understand that, but the true fact is that you don't know us until you know us.
Absolutely.
And no one is trying to attempt to know us. If that was the case, if we were really being known, if all this crazy, because I personally don't care about all these holidays. I don't, because it's a merchandise. Memorial Day, you could buy furniture, you could buy pools, you could buy anything, but you throw that 20-second commercial of a waving flag just to get your attention. Same thing with Veterans Day. If this government in the world, and I don't want to blame anybody, but it is society that has to look at it this way. If we were meant and we are loved for this planet, for this country, then why? Tell me why 22 veterans die every day of suicide.
Right.
Tell me why every day 22 veterans die of suicide. And that's suicide. We're not talking about overdose. We're not talking about drug addiction. We're not talking about being homeless. We're not talking about being in a psychotic way where nobody can understand that we got to listen to voices, and we're put up in a straitjacket and pumped for the pills for 5 to 6 years and trying to come out when all they're giving us is a copycat of heroin. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. That's all it is, to keep us moving, to keep us trying to, oh man, I'm getting depressed, I need my pill. That's how it is. So if all these holidays, all these things that's going on in this world that we celebrate in the United States are veterans or ribbon around the tree or, all this stuff, because there is some great organizations that do help, like Kathy, her family, they help veterans. But there's people out there that totally ignore it, and they take it as another day. They take it as a day off, a paid day holiday. There's nothing going on in this world that needs to ignore veterans. I understand this virus. I understand everything going on in this world. But why is it that we're ignored? Why is it that I had to fight so damn hard to get 100% disability so I don't have to pay my property tax? So I have to so I could get a free license plate. There's people out there that went through wars in their first year, served 4 years in the military, and they can't even get 10% disability. Absolutely. And they can't get nothing. So when people express that there's veteran organizations, there's a 800 hotline, we don't see billboards of it. We don't see 3-minute commercials that tell us how to support our veterans, how to help our veterans. We see it in election time, we see it in patriotic holidays, but we won't see it in your every day. We'll do a Bud Light commercial to last 6 minutes just to get that Super Bowl rating in, but we won't do a damn thing for veterans. You know, there are commercials. There are things that are starting to waken up, but they only do it during that time where their merchandise can be seen more by more people. You know, so
that's a damn shame. That really
You
is.
know, you was talking. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You was talking about today being Memorial Day. What I'm in Indiana today. I come up here with my fiance, who is also dual branch. He was served Marine and Army, 15 years total time. But we come up here today to sit with a brother that is homeless. I mean, he had his own company and done great things, but now he's homeless. And we've made it. Christmas we was here, Valentine's we was here, and Memorial Day we're here, and we'll be here every holiday that we can to be with him, so he doesn't have to be alone. And that's what it's about, is brothers taking care of brothers. And
that's what we do.
I mean, Steve Gore is an amazing man. He's a chainsaw artist. And he got down on his luck, and at one time he was homeless with 37 cents in his pocket and a chainsaw. And that's one story that everybody needs to hear, because he rose above it. And within 6 years, he stood on the floor of Congress. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a lot. But he now today is homeless, and it breaks my heart. When we come up here, we help him as much as we possibly can. But that's what we want to do, and that's what other people should want to do, is to help.
That's exactly right.
No matter if they're homeless or not, reach out, check on them. It don't matter if they're homeless. They can have $1 million ranch sitting there, but guess what? Deep down inside, they're not all there, and they need help.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
They need more human contact, right? And not.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Human contact cures a lot. Addiction. The opposite of addiction is connection. You get connected to other people, and that's how you feel.
It is, man. I mean, you could do so much with a smile to someone. If you could smile at somebody and make them smile back, comedic laughter. Laughter heals your body for 20 seconds over 100,000 times more than anything. I mean, if you just laugh, if you do the Superman pose, it's the healthiest pose in the world. If you hug somebody, show a good gesture in life to somebody, even just be right at that moment. You can change someone's life. You can. There's so much things out there. I had to deal, bringing a veteran brother that served with me out of Philadelphia, because he was going to end his life. Brought him out here to Tennessee, had a fight to get his birth certificate, his social security card. He was a homeless veteran. All these organizations were closing the door. It was hard. It was very hard. He got a job. He got everything back together. He's traveling. He's back on his feet, and it just took that love, man.
Yeah.
It took that love, and he took that step. He called me up. He goes, man, I don't know who else to call.
That one show of kindness and compassion for another human being can save them in that moment, that they're willing to take their life or throw it all away and do something really, really tragic.
Yes, let me say this, and everybody knows that I am such a big supporter of anti-suicide, anti-bullying, and I'm going to say this to everybody: it doesn't matter what damn trouble you are in life. It always gets better. Myself, I am honored to have you live life. I am honored to have you in this planet. I am honored to share my soul with you. Even if I never meet you, even if I never going to know you, I believe in you. I swear to goodness, man, life gets better. So if you're troubling, you're having so much time trying to connect, reach out. Reach out, man. Reach out to someone that will just listen to your whisper. And that way it could go so loud in your heart that it would change your mind. It would change your mind to live life and to follow your dreams and be you.
Absolutely. I love you, Santiago. Santi, give us a hi-ya!
It's the hi-ya nation, ladies and gentlemen. You can't go wrong. Nope. You can't go difficult. Nope. You can only be happy in one way, shape, or form, where we can accept you for who you are and what you want to be. Because we're the Haya Nation, and that is all you need.
I love you, Santiago.
I love you,
I
man.
do. I love you.
your enthusiasm and humor goes such a long ways, you know.
Man, I tell you, man, as much energy and love you see, I was in their shoes, man. I try to kill myself 5 times. I've been in depression. I've been, living life a different route where I just didn't want to wake up. And, God Almighty, man, opened my eyes and
Honored.
pretty much let me have a taste of power, where to the point where I was so full of energy. I was in the middle of a field, man, ready to take my life. And I just said, you take this pain away, or I'm going to take it away. I said, amen, hallelujah, praise the Lord. He told me to say Hayah, and there it was, man. I yelled Hayah to the point it echoed, to the point where I felt so much power that a bug, an ant, a gnat would bow down to me. That's how strong I felt. And I couldn't forget it. So I want to share it, and I share it with the Hayah Nation.
Absolutely. So I want to throw up this pin. I had some other pictures, but I couldn't get them to upload in time for the broadcast.
Who's that clean-shaved guy?
Who is this?
I know, right?
Kathy, where are we and what are we doing here?
We are honoring Kathy's daddy. We are literally folding up the flag that never been folded, and 2 military brothers folded it for her to represent it to her, and now it is literally a how do you say, like a sacred vessel that has a lot of strength in there.
That flag actually came off my father's casket when we buried him. And that event there at the burial for the one for the veterans, that was the first time that ever been touched. And I had some backlash from my family because I used that flag at one of my events. And a lot of people will probably disagree with it. But here's the reasoning behind why I used my father's flag. My dad loved his veterans, brothers and sisters. And I think the most honorable way that I could give recognition to my father was to use that flag for that event and every upcoming event that we have. That way I know he's always with me. I mean, I made a wreath that's got daddy's picture in it and everything. And, that'll be on stage. But there's something about that flag coming off of his casket the day he went in the ground. I need that in my life at my events because that represents my dad. And my family, some of my family,
beautiful
really
wife right
didn't
there,
like it.
Misty.
Hi, Misty. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Misty.
Hey.
You have your hands full.
But I really wanted it.
God bless you.
Yes. Yes, I do.
But that flag, and I wanted you two to fold it. You are both veterans, your brothers, and for you all to fold that flag for me at that event. And every event I have, there will be 2 veterans to fold that flag because I don't know how to fold it, and I'm not a veteran. I think veterans should be the one to have that honor and to do that. And I greatly appreciate you guys doing that for me that day.
We'll be doing it again next event, right?
Yeah, October 17th, right for the heroes here in Lexington, Kentucky at the Harley-Davidson dealership. As long as we got a thumbs up to go from the governor, we're going to do it.
That's good. That's good stuff, man.
So what's on the horizon for Santi?
Well, I'm growing this facial look. If y'all didn't know, I write also books, and I wrote a book called Zombified, the Headhunter, and it was me and my good friend Kendra Souter. And when I write books, I write horror books and so forth, but I don't put bad words into it. I don't put sexual scenes into it. I make it a classic horror book, So it's easy. It's a great book, but we took it off the shelves because I'm going to redo the cover of it, and at the same time, that book and along with like 5 other scripts are sitting on the desk of Netflix. So I had to take the book off the shelf because of that. So I'm writing a second book for it. At the same time, me and my friend Rick Prince from Sci-Fi's Face Off are doing a mini series for all you Walking Dead fans. We're going to do a mini series based on my character on Walking Dead, and we're going to pitch it in to try to get it put out. But we're going to let everybody see the pilot, and the other episodes will be kind of a secret thing. And at the same time, I'm working on a few films that are on hold. So because of all the stuff going on, but we're waiting on actually this October releasing Slaughtery. If it gets all edited down, I filmed it in Arkansas, a horror movie called Slaughtery. And one last thing is that I'm trying to travel around and promote a Veterans Homecoming movie. I'm going to be in Gettysburg. I'll be in Gettysburg in July, end of July. If you guys didn't know, I'm a paranormal magnet. So I do a lot of paranormal investigations at a lot of historical facilities. And I did some stuff with ID channel and so forth. So I'm legit. I'm pretty legit.
You are.
And I actually I wrote a TV show that I'm going to be promoting out there too. For all you paranormal kind of supernatural people out there. I'm doing a TV show called Smoke, which is a half man, half ghost superhero kind of guy.
Nice.
And
That'd be cool.
So, but you got to understand all the stuff that I do that's got my name on it, that I actually write or so forth. I give 10% to 20% back out of my own money for as long as the project survives, to help different things like Smoke is going to help a lot of these facilities and that are hard to keep up, and they're trying to, they do a lot of these great events, man. They try to help homeless people and so forth, and they do a lot of things. So I'm going to try to raise money for them, along with a Veterans Homecoming and Bitter Man is to help veterans, help bullying kids to adults from bullying. And I have a project added to it to help overdose, help people who are going through a lot of addiction, and show how we can help you with the simple knock on the door, man.
Absolutely.
So hopefully it works out.
Well, if there's anything that I can do, or my organization, No More Heroin, as a nonprofit, please let me know. And one thing that stands out to me is all the things that you're doing, you have done since that moment in the field when you cried out to God.
Yeah.
When you did not give in, you did not fold, and you just didn't give up.
Yeah, man. It's like I got awarded not a second chance, but a better chance. And it was you can actually feel the death of the old you disappear and the new you resurrected immediately. There was nothing that you can say that would not change my mind. It was a touch, and it was a new beginning, and it took all the pain, all the anger, and it just gave me nothing but positive energy, man.
It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Would you like to say something, Kathy?
Yeah, so Santiago, I went on the website or your Facebook page for a Veterans Homecoming, and I seen that you had merchandise on there for sale. And I went on and bought some of your merchandise. But is there any way that we as organizations, nonprofits, can help you besides just the merchandise?
Look, this is what I always say, because it's a great thing to do. Get a boot, get a metal ammo can, or get something and just put it to the side and let people put change in it. Let it do some organization, some stuff. Say, yeah, we're doing this too, because I don't want these nonprofits to take away too much of what they're doing and their direction, even though it's helping veterans. So I want to be that corner voice. because once you say, oh yeah, we're helping veterans, we're doing these organizations, you say, by the way, there's a friend of mine named Santiago, and we just want you to like his Facebook page of Veterans Homecoming. And we have this boot here, this ammo can, that if you want to put $1 or $2, but if you go on the site, you can buy a t-shirt, or you can do this, or ask them to be in the movie, because we're actually casting 90% or more of actors and cast members to a Veterans Homecoming. And we're going to donate 20% what the film makes for as long as it makes money to help homeless veterans, help stop addiction, help the veterans' family, help them fight PTSD. And then one thing we're going to do is we're going to make our own Woodstock concert. It's no drugs, no fireworks. It's simply a network of brothers and sisters from veterans to active service members to 911 response team to give us our nice, calm kind of network where we could talk to each other. Like I said it before, man, you guys out there, I love the human race. I love my people, but nothing connects like a veteran talking to a veteran or someone that's in that field, because it does save our lives. It does gives another different turn for the better, because there's so many veterans I met that if I didn't hug them, that I didn't tell them my story, they were going to kill themselves. They're going to lose their lives. They were going to go a different route. They were going to continue to take drugs and try to sleep under a bridge. So, pay attention how it works. And it's a great network. It's a great thing. It's the Haya Nation. It's all part of it. A Veterans Homecoming, all these movies and projects I do. I am very blessed to be part of the entertainment company. I'm even better blessed to know that I went through some crap and rebounded and became a better person in life. And I want to share that love with you guys. There's no strings attached, man. I know it's hard to believe, but it's a Haya Nation way. We love you.
Amen. So when I came to Kathy's event in November, I flew from Florida to Akron, Ohio, and drove down with Denny Wilson and Rob Rawlings for your event. We stopped, picked up some socks and stuff to donate. Yeah. And Denny brought some books down, and he had texted Renee, my girlfriend, just now, and asked you, Kathy, to give away a book. So how would you like to give away one of Denny's books? He'll mail it out to them.
Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to. Definitely.
Fisher. So how would you like to do this? There's 36 people on here right now. Just have everybody pick a number between 1 and 50. You pick a number. You pick a number. You pick a number in your head, Kathy, and don't tell nobody. Everybody pick a number. If you would like an F Heroin book by Denny Wilson, please comment your number. I don't care how many times you comment. Between 1 and 50 for Denny to send you a copy of the F Heroin.
And I have the number written down, so there's no cheating.
Okay, 29, 27, Janet, Vicky, that's off as 18. Hi, Aaron Lane. It's good to see you on here, bro. Another Buckeye brother. Christy's got 17. Christy, it's good to see you. Aaron Lane, 7.
Well, while we're running through this real quick, can I give a shout out to my crew that works by my side on Ride for the Heroes?
48.
I want to
39.
I want to thank Larry McCoy and Dee Dee McCoy. They are two phenomenal people. They're like my mom and dad, since I don't have a mom and dad. Dwayne Thomas, which is my fiance, he's the one that pushed me to get this going and do what my heart wanted to do. And then Lisa and Dean Bartholo.
22.
Lisa and Dean Bartholo.
33.
Dean, come to find out, he's my stepbrother. So it was pretty cool to find that out. And then I have Greg Chowning and I have Anthony Beeler, who's also part of the organization, and I have Todd Bailey, who came on board. He's a veteran as well. And we're just going to keep on, climbing, and we're going to keep bringing people on board. But I do have to say, I know that our Kentucky Medevac unit got sent out. They got deployed, She texts us, and they're fixing to leave to go to Afghanistan. One of my really good friends, Brittany, her fiance, is on that deployment.
25.
Please, everybody, keep these guys and gals in your prayers because we want them all back home safe and sound.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, let's see if we have the number. Y'all can see it. It's 23.
23. Was there a 23? Somebody better pick 23 real quick.
Bingo!
Aaron had 50.
There was a 21.
There's a 22. Renee had a 22.
Denny put 20. Yep, 22 has it.
Aaron said 23. Aaron Lane, you win a book.
Congratulations, Aaron.
Aaron Lane, congratulations. And it'll be coming to you directly from Akron, Ohio, the birthplace of Alcoholics Anonymous. Aaron is a Buckeye living in Cincinnati, I believe.
All right.
So, Denny, if you would, please message Aaron Lane for details on how to receive his book. Thank you, Denny, for the book. Thank you guys for jumping on here, you guys. Thank
you for having us.
This has been a great live feed. I had some technical issues in the beginning, which is life on Facebook terms.
Yes.
And, I've been trying to
yes, it is.
On here for a minute. I'm glad, Kathy, you jumped on with me as well. I love you, Kathy, dearly.
I love you too, and thank you for having me.
I love you, my best.
Appreciate it.
Is there anything you want to say? I'm gonna give you the floor, Santiago, to leave with the audience on this Memorial Day 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Higgy's doing it right. Kathy's doing it right. You can too. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. Live life. Follow your dreams. Always be you. Never give up. You're more important than anything in this world to just enjoy yourself. And I ask you to please continue to support each other. If you see someone on the ground, pick them up, man. Walk with them. Don't just pick them up and leave them. Walk with them. We are in a world where Memorial Day is being honored for veterans, for people who lost their lives, but also for our hardworking people out there today. Doctors, our 911 response team, our nurses, you know, all people out there that are going through some time and are still recovering. You know, it's hard. We're locked up out in our homes, and a lot of depression builds. A lot of old feelings come up. Fight it. Be strong and enjoy the upcoming year, as we all will be together always as brothers and sisters. And I ask you one thing. If you're feeling down, if you walk in and you feel that hot negativity, if you go down the road and you open a door, you enter Walmart and you don't hear your favorite song, it is simple. One word kills it all and brings you sunshine and happiness. Hiya.
Hiya. Thank you guys for making this a very special Memorial Day. For all.
Thank you, Higgy.
Thank you for your service, my brother. I love you. I can't wait
to you, brother.
Spend time with you. Hopefully I'll be able to get up to Tennessee this summer sometime to go four-wheeling and hang out in the country.
The pool's open, baby. The pool is open.
I'm coming to get in the pool.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And if you're still watching, please give this one more share. Help us get this message out, you know, and please never give up. You know, no matter how long you've traveled the wrong road, you can always turn around. So I love you. I love you, Kathy. I love you, Santi. Good night, everybody.
Love you. Good night.
Perfect.